Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us again for another indie-friendly conversation. And this time I have a very special friend of mine. He goes by the name of Dale Big Country Curtis. Say hello to the people, Big Country.
Hello, yes, my name Big Country. I'm a friend of Sid Demands, a really good friend of his. And to tell a little bit about my backdrop, my story, I was raised by my grandparents, James and Mary Landry, in Northwest Harris County, by Acres Home. Raised in Acres Home, Tomball, Corville area, and my stepfather rodeo, and I fell in love with the sport. And I pursued it, took it to the highest level you could possibly go, and was a threat. Just did it out of pure passion, and other than that, that's about it. And then as far as as far as medicating, self-medicating, and I was an emotional drinker, and I couldn't tell you when it crossed the line from luxury to necessity. And I just tried to drown a bunch of my sorrows and cover up my pain through self-medicating with alcohol, and went through divorce. My grandfather died, my stepfather passed away, and my dad. So I was really at a bad, dark space in my life, and just rejected by everybody. Didn't nobody want to be around me. Hell, I didn't even want to be around me, at that point. And went to TDC for a assault case. I was a very angry individual on the inside. And then a couple of years later, got off parole and got another assault case. I had a problem with reacting to people trying to handle me any kind of way, and I felt like everybody was attacking me, and so I was very defensive and a very angry individual, through the alcohol and just childhood emotional distress. So that being said, I paid my debt to society. And but when you get out and you got an X on your back, you really can't find gainful employment. I paid my debt to society, but it seemed like society didn't accept payment. I couldn't get my time back, So that being said, it just kept pushing. It kept asking for jobs, asking for jobs, and then out of 9 no's, one person said yes and started welding for him, and then got a employment. A place called Oceaneering. I was certified welder until they ran my background and seen I had a couple of assault cases, and being 6'6", 300 pounds, they knew I was a big dude and I knew how to use it, But I didn't want that reputation on my back, So at that point, man, I was pedal to the metal on a downhill side, downhill slide, see it, and it was a very lonely place, and people that really truly love me, they love me so much that they couldn't stand being around me and seeing me not give a fuck about myself. Oh, I can't say that.
Huh? You good? We listening to you.
Yeah, I couldn't get. They didn't really they couldn't sit around and see me not give a fuck about myself, and it hurt them to see me not really just have a disregard for my health mentally, emotionally, or physically, because that alcohol was taking me where I didn't want to go and kept me longer than I was willing to stay. So I found myself at the crossroads in life, and my ex-girlfriend, which is now my best friend, she cared too much about me to see other people laugh at me, So she would pick me up and take me, to a rehab place called the Cheyenne Center. And I had picked up my 3rd DWI at this time. So mind you, I was in the trucking industry, got a DWI. So now at this point, my CDL license was at threat. But by the grace of God, he's seen something bigger in my life. When they said no and he said yes, his overruled theirs. And it was a misprint on my court documents that said it was my first DWI. Filed it as a misdemeanor when it should have been a felony because it was my 3rd DWI. So I'm praying and praying, and this is where God really intervened in my life, because I seen the invisible God became visible to me. He met me right where I was. and gave a tangible evidence of his existence and presence in my life. I was going back to court, and it was 2017, Harvey came through. And I was going to court, and I was at Cheyenne Center, and I had to catch a bus to court from there. And I just prayed, Lord, if you get me up out of this situation, and I will speak your word and carry my testimony and show how good and testify on how good your greatness is, that you allowed me to see how great your goodness is in the land of the living. So Harvey came through, they changed courthouses. Well, before that, my last court appearance, the DA looked at me and said, Mr. Curtis, it's obviously you have a drinking problem and you can't stop on your own. And he said, don't worry about it, we're gonna help you. Didn't crack a smile, looked at the judge and said, Your Honor, next court date, we're gonna refile this as a felony. Mind you, I'm on parole for 7 more years. So if a felony conviction is a for sure straight ticket back to TDC, plus with my 3rd DWI with a new charge. So next court date, Harvey came through. When I was caught the bus from Cheyenne Center going up there, it was in a different courthouse. It was misdemeanors were a family court and felonies were a civil courthouse. So it was a new DA. And he said, my lawyer, he just looked at the first page and seen first DWI. And my attorney said, well, Mr. Curtis, that's offering you 300 days. I said, misdemeanor time? She said, yeah, I almost got an assault case snatching the pen out of her hand to sign that paper. I was like this is still this deal. So that being said, I signed for it. And at that time, that's when I really actually felt the presence of God, knowing he was with me all my life,
But let me ask you this, Big Country. So you mentioned that you were rodeoing, you were on the scene, you was at the highest of the highest in the rodeo game. And for a lot of people that don't know, living in Texas, it's a lot of country folks out here. And rodeoing is a sport. There's a lot of money involved, a lot of women involved, a lot of beer drinking, a lot of all of that. So talk about some of those temptations that was around you, through your come up on that rodeo scene, and even after that, because that's something that you had to overcome in your environment as well, right?
Correct. Rodeoing, I was rodeoing at the amateur ranks, seeing my stepdad, bulldog and steers, all my family, friends. That's all I knew. I was raised up in Acres Home, and you got everything in Acres Home, from horses to Rolls Royces and everything in between.
Yes,
you go down West Montgomery, you see horses tied up on side of the road. So, going practice pen. Practice pen is where we go in with practice through the week to cultivate our skills and to get precise at it, And there was a lot of drinking going on, and this is just a lot of party. It was a lifestyle. Rodeo is a lifestyle. So that being said, going to the amateur ranks, and then I just got into I gravitated toward a different group of guys that were they were dressed sharper. They were more professional, and they were going to some better rodeos with them white folks that was paying a lot more money, And so I went there and I tried my hand in that, and I excelled at it, just being a champion, everybody loves a winner, and I like to win because I was liking that attention, So, and I really had a passion for my game, for my trade. And because I eat it, breathed it, slept it, shit it, fucked it, I did all of it too. I thought rodeo, about everything I've done. So I entered the PRCA in 1998, which is Professional Rodeo Cowboy Association. It's the elite of the elite, and I bought my pro permit, filled my pro permit at my third pro rodeo. I was 3-9 on a steer in George West, Texas, and filled my permit. And I never forget it, and went out and partied, and it was a bunch of going to the rodeos and picking up the buckle bunnies, which was like the groupies in the rock world or the rap world and the arts, of the trade. That was the friends benefits. You know what I mean?
I got you.
So, and I did that. I did that with the best of them. But a little bit more than my share. But You know, I had a good time. I was young, and I really lived pretty much like a rock star on the rodeo scene. You know, and the thing about it is that when I came to after I got out of TDC in 2000 and 2010, my second trip, and I was on parole for 10 years after I got out. So I was like, I had to really sit back and do some soul searching and to see where I wanted to be in 10 years, you know. And at this time, I'm 38, you know, and the life rodeo expectancy, I mean, as far as being a threat, you know, and actually being able to perform on that level, you know, my clock was winding down, and I wanted to do something different. So I stepped into the workforce, and the workforce really wasn't for me. You know what I mean? I'm just not that type of brother that can sit back and behind the desk. And some people like it, but I'm just not that cubicle type of brother, you know, because I've traveled these great United States of ours, you know, through air and land, mostly land travel, driving 18, 19 hours, 24 hours to get to California, you know, to these rodeos at Reno, Salinas, Cheyenne, Wyoming, Deadwood, South Dakota. It's about, you know, so I'm seeing all this. So it's pretty much like a lion you trying to put in the cage in the cubicle, and I just couldn't see myself doing that type shit, you know. So, and I had to just be real with myself. So God helped me create my own lane. Well, He created my own lane. I was just obedient and followed in it, you know. And that part of the workforce wasn't really for me. He clearly showed it. Too much work. I'm not used to people telling me no. They're putting limits on you, putting you in a box, and God didn't create us to be in no box. You know, so not like that. You can't put limits on the person that made the universe. And I know that the forces that were for me were far greater. I just seen something better in myself than that, you know, and not belittling nobody about what they do, because there's good money in welding. There's good money in doing anything that you're doing. But the grandest paycheck of them all is working for the passion, not the paycheck, you know. And I didn't have a piece for that.
Now I remember you telling me about, you know, of course you're rodeoing, but you did a couple stints in TDC and then got out. And then we met in, like, what was it, 2017, 2018 or something like that?
Yeah, 2017, 2018, I went down to the longshoreman.
Yeah. So we were down there at the Houston Ship Channel, and my very first day down there, I run into big country trying to find out where I'm supposed to be going so that I can get to work. I'll never forget it, man. And you know, I just followed you. Everywhere you went, I went. You know, and yeah, even whether it was at the main ship channel, whether we was at Barber's Cut, we even went to Freeport a couple times, you know, going down there looking for work, man. But I always just admired your journey, because you would always be setting yourself up for the next move, for the next phase in your life. And you know, you told me about how you overcame, and I was speaking with another gentleman. He overcame a 15-year crack cocaine addiction. And the way he told our audience that he overcame was simply by memorizing the word of God, memorizing some scriptures, you know, from the Bible that pertain to his struggle. So when you were going through this, and I remember one time you told me you were so bad that you had the shakes. I don't even know what the shakes is, really. So explain to the people, how bad did it get, and using the word of God, how did you break that demonic chain? You know, because that's what it is a demonic spirit that's attacking each and every one of us when it comes to addiction, whether it be alcohol, drugs, sex, you name it. So what were some of the scriptures, or what was your regimen you used to overcome?
What were you asking? What tools did I use? What scriptures did I use? Was that your question?
Right.
Okay, man. I just I had to come to the end of myself. You know, I came to the end of myself, and I seen that man, my way took me to where, like, you know, where alcohol took me where I didn't want to go and kept me longer than I wanted to stay. And I was just, it's like the scripture in Romans when Paul said, the things I know I need to do, I don't do, but the things I don't need to do, I do, you know. And it's kind of like that vicious cycle in the scripture. And when the man was by the graveyard, butt naked, cutting himself, you know, that's how you can identify any person that had any kind of addiction was held up by that stronghold, you know, that the enemy uses, you know. And it says that he was cutting himself, and not in the, but when Jesus said, cast all the legions out of him, he said he was clothed and in his right mind, you know. And the way I did it, man, I cried out to him. When I cried out to God, and he heard my cry. He heard my cry on the way to court. And it wasn't just for court. That was a big, I ain't gonna lie to nobody, that was a big point, because I didn't know what my future held. And that's a scary place to be. And my decisions got me there. Nobody got me there. I got me there by my decisions, by my following week to my desires. And the desire that I really didn't even like. That's crazy when you have a desire that you don't even like, you know, and that's bondage. And I pray to God all the time, Lord, I ask that you take these worldly scales off my eyes and bless me with spiritual lenses, enabling me to not only see the battlefield, but also the victory you gave me in it, you know. And by Jesus' stripes, we heal from all afflictions, addictions, self-destructive mindsets. You know, I thank God for making the devil knows our yeses and turning his stumbling blocks into our stepping stools, promoting and exalting us to new levels of his glory, you know, of his righteousness. And I always thank God in advance for allowing me to see how great his goodness was in the land of the living, and how great his goodness is in the land of the living. Spoke that into existence, you know. And you were talking about the shakes. I remember, and it's embarrassing, but it's not embarrassing. It's embarrassing, but I keep my weaknesses in front of me, Sid, and therefore they become they become my strengths. When I keep my weaknesses in front of me, they in turn become my strengths, because I'm not ashamed of them. Because when I boast in my weaknesses and what had me, and now somebody see me clothed and in my right mind, that's really boasting in the power of God. You know, because when he took that taste of alcohol out of my mouth, brother, and put spiritual lenses on me and enabled me to see not only the battlefield, but also the victory he gave me in it, I know it was nothing but him that delivered me. Everybody that knows Dale, everybody that knows Dale, big country, know that it was the hand of God. They know this is not the same person that they seen coming up. Why? Because it's like you remodel a car, same car, different motor. You know, I don't live on worldly principles or values anymore. It's all a spiritual journey for me, you know. And he enabled me to actually. He walked with me when I seen. He gave me the strength. And he walked with me to face these things that I was trying to suppress, to face these feelings that I was trying to hold down, to self-medicate. He helped me face those, and a bunch of them had to do with some childhood traumas. You know, motherly love, I know not. I didn't have that at that time. I had grandmotherly love, you know, and that was a bunch. I rodeo because my stepfather rodeoed, and the reason I did that was because I wanted my mother to love me half as much as she loved my stepfather, you know, and that was then. And it was about forgiveness. Lord, whatever it is that I have in me, in my heart, any kind of bitterness that I have in my heart, I ask that you search my heart. You ask what I ask, and this is the conversation I could talk to God just like I'm talking to you. I ask that you search my heart, and anything that you find not pleasing in there, please help me purge it up out of me, and bring it to my attention and give me the courage to face it, so I can put it behind me. And a bunch of it was quite a bit, and it was simple, but it wasn't easy. You know, things that are simple aren't always so easy. You know, the fear of the unknown, change. You know, stay in your comfort zone. That's why I really wanted to stay. And I really didn't have to face things if I just drown myself in alcohol, it gave me a new identity. So anyway, when I faced that, I seen that the whole time I thought I was by myself, that one set of footsteps in the sand, it wasn't me by myself, but that was God carrying me through these situations. You know what I mean? So it's like an awesome thing. You know, in the scriptures, delight yourself in the Lord and he'll give you the desires of your heart. Well, when I started delighting myself in the Lord and my desire became, it was a twofold. It was like a win-win situation because my desire became to delight myself in him, you know, to be upright in his eyes, you know, man, and he gave me the ability to forgive, you know. Forgiveness is such a powerful tool, and it released me from so much bondage, so much having to meet up to somebody's expectation. Forgiveness just it freed me, you know. But the hardest person to forgive when the true deliverance actually I felt it, you know, was when he gave me the strength to forgive myself. You know, when he gave me the strength to forgive myself, that's really when the deliverance took place, and I could feel it. It felt like, ooh, like I just ran a race, you know, and I was just tired, and I went in there and slept, and when I woke up, I just felt refreshed like I've never felt before. And to be honest, today, Sid, it's been, man, I lost count because he keeps me so busy on moving forward and doing his work and living every step with a purpose. And my purpose is to carry out his will for my life and to stay positioned so God can continue to flow through me and be the conduit to bless other people, you know? So, and I really have a keen desire to do that today, you know, to be that person of deference, not difference. Difference is conflict. Deference is putting somebody else's well-being ahead of your pleasure. Then that's another twofold because it gives you, the gift is in the giving. You know what I mean? And
Right.
but the gift for me is in the giving, putting somebody else's well-being in my pleasure. And then it becomes my pleasure to be able to help somebody. You know what I mean? That's what God has us here for. You know, that's what he has me here for, to be a helpmate to my brother. You know, I don't think he delivered me for me, you know. I think he delivered me to give other people hope. Better can talk to another alcoholic, tell you about them shakes where you try to go to sleep, Sid, and your body's craving alcohol so bad, or craving whatever chemical it is so bad that you just sweating, and it's cold in the house, but you sweating and you're shaking, and your mouth is so dry, and no amount of water can quench the thirst, nothing but another sip of alcohol. And then it's crazy because then when you take that sip of alcohol, then the whole shakes and the sweats, they stop. And then you back on again. Okay, you feeling good. And then it's a vicious cycle. But when he took that taste of alcohol out of my mouth, Sid, when he gave me the strength to forgive and to forgive myself and to ask for, I asked for make amends for people, but some of them, they wasn't really willing to make amends. So okay, brother, I tried. I'm sorry you feel that way. Sorry for whatever it is I did to you, and I'm gonna keep it pushing. You know what I mean? So it's amazing on how when he done that, if I smell alcohol today, if I smell alcohol on anybody's breath, my stomach start churning and my mouth get water, and it's like I have to throw up, like I get nauseated. That's how I really know that God took the taste of that alcohol out of my mouth.
Oh, wow, bro, man, that's so powerful. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you are listening and hanging on to the words that he's saying, because if you are going through any type of addiction, there's hope for you. There's hope for you. You can look at Dale Curtis right now, Big Country right now, and hear his voice and hear his testimony and know that if God did it for him, he could do it for you. He could do it for you. So now you got the desires of your heart by yielding to what God desires first. And so talk about starting your trucking business. I know that you were getting that off the ground when we met, and now it has flourished beyond probably your imagination or whatever you thought it could be. I mean, now you are blessed in abundance, bro. So, like, talk about getting that off the ground and experiencing all the success that you experienced today.
Man, and it started in my addiction, and I almost sold that one truck, because I was going through my legal battles with the DWI, and just, but my uncle bought the truck from me, right? He gave me the money to pay for my attorney fees and until I got on my feet, because he was one of those people that was that designated supporter. You know, you got distant supporters, designated supporter, and divine supporter, which is Christ. You know, so I was sleeping in my truck in front of his shop, right there in Carverdale, Mark Dub, W.C. Curtis. And man, I started when I came back home, got my head together, and now I'm on the track. I'm catching the bus back and forth. My ex-girlfriend give me a couch to sleep on, a place where I can sit down and gather my thoughts and get my grips together and get my relationship right with Christ, you know, and stay still. She gave me a place to stay still so I can hear him speak. So that's when I started catching the bus. Then I got my license. You know, she helped me get my license back. So that's when I started working at the waterfront. You know, where I met you at, and then I got down there and I was like, man, you know, I'm just passing through this place. They was talking about, man, you ain't going in the hole. You ain't going in the hole. Remember I looked at you, I said, if anybody say Big Country is in that hole, you might want to check into that, because I didn't go in there voluntarily.
Yeah, you always say, if they say I'm in the hole, that means somebody pushed me in there. But I went in that hole, man. I went in that hole a couple times, man. I ain't gonna lie. And I remember when I told you, like, man, you went in that hole, man. I went in that hole.
Oh man, no, I couldn't. But it was like fishing in the toilet bowl. You know what I mean? Everything was right there. So,
so you started with one truck.
Yeah, I started.
And you almost sold it.
I almost sold it, you know, and my Uncle Dub kept me from selling it. He bought it from me. You know, he gave me like $5,000 for my legal fees and stuff, and you know, to help me get through this mess. He didn't want to just give it to me. He wanted me. I had something that he can use, but he just held it for me, you know, just so I wouldn't lose it, because he saw, like, God gave him a premonition, you know, so he could see that this was just a temporary situation. He was praying that I got my head on straight. So anyway, I got out, started going to the waterfront. Then I started registered customers that I had, and I had good relationships. They never saw that alcohol side of Big Country. You know what I mean? So it was business that got slow and everything. That's why it parked, and I had a lot of time on my hands. So anyway, we're back up and rolling. Talked to them, plugged in with them. Hey, Country, man, I can use it. I got a new position, and I can use any carrier that I choose to, and I choose to use you. What you been doing? You still rolling? Yeah, man, I'm still rolling. I ain't even now my license. You know what I mean? So, so got back off of now, got my insurance money, got my authority back reactivated, and I started working, grinding, you know, full-time grinding. And then that one, it came about, they was about to get rid of their own trucks, and they was going strictly hot shot, and they chose my company, Oracle Logistics, to be the carrier, because I established a relationship with them, you know, since 2012. So got in there and used some independents, you know, some owner operators that had their own equipment to help me satisfy the contract. They needed 4 trucks. At this time I had one. Well, right before they started the contract, they brought the talks up. I bought another truck, you know, because I seen myself outsourcing some of my big truck stuff. So I saved my money and I bought what I needed, you know. And my grandpa always told me, he said, wealth or poverty is a mindset. He said, a poverty-minded mindset person gonna buy what they want and just impress somebody that don't like them anyway, and do without or beg for what they need. You know, buy a Bentley and then park in front of an apartment complex with a eviction sign on the door. You know what I mean? So
right,
you can buy what you need and save your money and buy what you need, and it's gonna pay for what you want. You know, so that's the foundation of that old cloth. And I told you my grandparents raised me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's what I did. Bought that truck. At this point, I have 2 trucks that's paid for. So got a trailer for that one. Now I got 2 trucks and 2 trailers. And then it just kept going like that. Hey, man, we need, now they at this point, they not only they're corporate at 290 in the Beltway, and then now they got 11 stores in Texas, but corporate is right there at 290 in the Beltway. So talks was in the air about the other 2 stores in Houston. They got 3 in Houston. So long story short, I ended up getting the contract for all 3 stores in Houston. You know, so it was like 8 trucks. So I bought another truck and another trailer, and then got another driver put in there, and then just kept it going, buying what I needed, and it's paying for what I wanted. So, and I was always Self-memory is like my 48-year-old big country my 98-year-old big country came to the 46-year-old big country and said, think about me. You know, who's gonna take care of me when you get this old? So I started looking for down that road, you know, and being debt free. Remember what my grandpa told me, and stuck to those values and being obedient, because God putting it right there in my face. And what you gonna do with this money? You know what I mean? I'm reinvesting it. Only way a baby gonna grow is if you feed it. You know what I mean? So Oracle, I don't have any children, you know, and Oracle is my baby. So, you know, I'm feeding it. I'm just continuing. I ain't gonna say fed it. I'm continuing to feed it. So at this point, you know, I have 7 trucks and 8 trailers, and we're about to buy another trailer to it's called a land dog, hauling for another one of my customers on the railroad. They do railroad equipment. It's a $240,000 trailer, but he's gonna sell it to me for 120, and it'll be paid off in a year. And everything else I paid off, and I just built my house. I mean, all this by the grace of God, by obedience. Blessings follow obedience. Blessings follow, or it's not the other way around. Bless me, then I'm gonna be obedient. You have to be obedient in the hard times. We got to be obedient in the valleys. And I'm talking about what I actually had to go through, you know, and he just kept amazing me. Everything that I needed, that he had provisions for. He's not going to bless you and then say, good luck. You know, he blessed me and he made provisions for the blessing. What are you going to do? You know, because sorry about that. We have many choices, but we have many choices, but we only have one decision. You know, and that being said, we're going to either suffer the consequences or reap the benefits behind that decision. You know, so that's how it started. And here we are, we're rolling strong. And it's a small outfit, but it's a Black minority-owned company here in Houston, Texas, Oracle Logistics LLC. And I'm the manager, and it's like I'm the oil that keeps the motor running smooth. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know,
man. So. Well, I'm definitely proud of you, man, because in the short amount of time that I saw you at the ship channel, just keeping up with you all that time, I've been able to see the growth, man. Not just growth in, you know, your company, but just even you just as a human being, just growing spiritually, you know, and like you saying that forgiveness that you had to have in order to let some of that baggage go and move forward. I've watched that too, where you know, you don't chase them, you replace them, you know.
Just like that. I'm not gonna debate with you. I'm gonna replace you. You know what I mean?
So it's a blessing to see that. And so now you have built a house. Well, first you got some land, and you
really you came out here to the property when I first bought the land. Same day I bought it.
Yes, sir. I was out there, but when I was out there, it wasn't nothing but grass. But now you done put a big old. I'll let you tell the folks what it is. You describe it so much better than me, but it's nice.
Yeah, it's I just seen I was gonna actually build a barn dominium. I'm a country guy, you know. I was gonna build a barn dominium, a nice barn dominium, but I ended up building you know, it's like this lady that worked at FedEx, man. She's real cool friends. She's like, country, God is telling me to tell you, don't build for where you are right now. Build for where you want to be one day. And I was like, wow, that put a pin in that. I had to think about that. So. And I just went and looked at some homes, and I was like, what a better savings account can you have than invest in some property and real estate? You know what I mean? So it's going to gain a lot more interest than any banker ever gives. So, and that being said, I did that. I went to a custom neighborhood where they build custom $1 million homes, multi-million-dollar homes, actually, in gated communities over here off of 290. And seen some model homes. And actually the home that I just got them little brochures, you know, and I got my architect, designer, engineer. He put all of them together, from the elevations to the room sizes to everything, the layout. This house here has one of the house's living rooms and the kitchen, because it's 20-foot ceiling, or 22-foot ceilings in the living room and the kitchen, and 19-foot entrance, and you know, the lowest ceiling in here is 11 foot. There was a lot in it, man. I was a student of the game, and I was surprised. It was all God breathed because I never built a house before, and it came out wonderful. It's a 9,600 square foot one story, and it's debt free. Matter of fact, I'm sitting in the theater room now. You see
I see it, man. I see it.
Yeah, I'm sitting in the
That's
theater
nice.
room now. And you want me to walk through the living room?
Yeah, take us through there.
Okay, let me do that. Okay, well, that's the theater room, and it's getting there. You see, it got Curtis established 2020 on the
I
bottom
see,
down there.
yeah.
And I'm gonna cut some of these lights on.
So how long did it take to get the architect and all of that locked in, and then actually building it to where you can move in? How long was that process?
It took me about 8 months. Hold on, I'm
8.
cutting some of these lights on in here.
Oh man, yeah,
Welcome to
man.
the
You
front.
look like you. This is MTV Cribs, man.
Yeah, it's coming on. Let me see, cut some of these lights on. See, this is this family room, walking into the theater room. I mean, in the living room, and you can see that's the fireplace,
Oh,
ceiling
that's
fan. Got a lot of windows on the back side right there. You really can't see too. Let me cut some more of these lights on right quick. I'm trying to get where it ain't just moving a whole lot. And then I got my let me see. Got my fireplace kicking right there. And you can change the lights on it to blue,
okay.
to
Yeah,
yeah, and this is now, can you see that?
yeah. I can see that ceiling. Oh, that's beautiful, bro.
Yeah. And this is the kitchen in here. And I'm still in the process, but most of it's already done. I got my driveway and stuff done. I'll walk outside in the front in a minute.
Okay.
But this is the
Oh, I
kitchen.
like that countertop, man. That's a lot of counter space.
There's 15-foot long island, and then 15-foot island. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see that. That's
And then that's
beautiful.
the living room. And that's gonna be my office where Santa is right there.
Okay.
And the plans that had a glass wall right there, but I opted out of that because I just like the open floor plan space.
Okay.
And got my backsplash and stuff done. And let me see. Walking back here and this is gonna be like the breakfast. And you see it, this is gonna be the breakfast.
Okay.
You can actually see the floors from here. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can, man. Those floors are beautiful. What is that,
Yeah, they did a
marble or
good
something
job.
like that?
Huh?
What kind of floors are those?
That's a porcelain. It's a porcelain, but it's kind of like a polished porcelain where it got that marble look.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then you got the wrong one. Then this is the back patio. Walking out on the back side of it. Got my ceiling fans. That's to the master bedroom right there, that door. Got it where I can come out and I'm gonna hang some TVs up there. And over
Yeah.
here, this is where the outdoor kitchen is. Over there, I just ain't got those lights on yet. Yeah, it's just quiet out here in the country, big dog. And you can actually see it from the inside.
Yeah, man. That's the best place to be. You got any livestock out there?
Yeah, we got some cows out there.
Yeah,
That's the ag.
something out there.
That's the agricultural exemption, dog.
Yeah. Well, bro, I appreciate you, taking the time out to give your testimony and just to catch up with you, bro. I mean, it's always a pleasure when we talk. So if you had to leave our audience with one thing that they should take away from your journey, your testimony, and just your life in general, what would that be?
Never give up. Always believe in yourself. Know that the forces that are for us are far greater than the ones that are against us. That God has us here for a purpose. Blessings follow obedience. You know, just, and to sum it all up, blessings follow obedience. You know, accountability. You got to be real with yourself. You know, knowing that even if you got to say, I know I'm a better person than my actions have shown. It's okay to make a mistake. You know, it's okay to make a mistake. Don't be embarrassed of that mistake. Mistakes are meant to shape us. They're not meant to harm us. They're meant to grow us.
Right. Right.
And that's what I would leave the audience with. Here, this is the driveway, big dog.
Oh man. Oh yeah.
Or you see it in the front.
Yeah, I can see it. I see you got that loop. You got the 610 loop out there, man.
Yeah, it's coming along. It's
Yeah.
coming along.
Yeah.
But that's
so
it, man. That's what I would say, Sid. You know, dream big. You know, because a goal is a dream with a time limit. Have a long-term goal and set short-term goals to get there. Daily goals. My daily goal is to be a better person today than I was yesterday. You know,
hey, I tell you what, that's my goal. That's my goal too. That's my goal too, for real.
Yeah, see, last time you came out here, big dog, this wasn't here.
No, wasn't none of that there. Tell you what, last time I came out there, your truck was stuck in a hole out there.
Yeah, that's it right there behind me. See it by my boat?
Oh yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Man, that's a beautiful house, bro. Like, and I like the lighting out there, like how you got it. Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
yeah. Just got to keep the airplanes from trying to land here, you know.
Oh man, you got enough place for a helipad, for real.
I'm scared of heights though, man, you know. Yeah, but it's man, if people that are hearing our voice today, you know, and one thing I can say, if God did it to me, alcoholic, a person that just pretty much lost his lease on life and lost his motivation to live, God said different. And hopefully this message here, like it was for me, it was, you know, a few encouraging words can be the difference in between somebody giving up or going on. And I'm glad that God tied an extra knot in the rope, because I slipped that first knot a long time ago, you know, but I was holding on with my fingertips, and that word of encouragement came along, you know, and the Spirit touched me, you know, and the realization, if you change the way you think, you change your life. Yeah. You know, ain't nothing impossible for God. Instead of start talking about how big our problems are, start focusing and talking about how big our God is and how great our God is and how much he loved us. He loved us so much, he gave his very best to forgive us for our very worst. You know, and I just thank God for it every second, you know, and that's what it is. I thank God for good people like yourself being placed in my path. You know what I mean? Because you my brother.
Yes, sir. I thank God for you, bro. Like, I mean, every time I talk to you, you always give me, you not no yes man. You gonna tell me the real. You gonna tell me what I need to hear. You know, it don't matter how close we are or what. You gonna tell me exactly what I need to hear. You gonna put the word in my ear, the word of God in my ear. And every time I've spoke to you and got advice from you, it's been solid advice that I can stand on and move forward with. And I want to say, just thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a brother.
That's it, man. Share much love to you, boy. You know I love you. You know, that comes from the bottom of my heart. I don't use that word loosely, you know, because I think love is in dire need of love itself. Love need a hug. You know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Well, man, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. And I just want to say thank you again, my brother. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dale Big Country Curtis, and he has graced us with his presence and his testimony today. So I know you're not on social media, are you?
No, man, I've got a Instagram, but other than that, that's about it, man. I don't have no. I've never been on Facebook. I'm old country boy. I try to keep it simple.
What's your Instagram? What's your name on Instagram?
I think Dale Curtis 23 or Dale Curtis 39. What's one of them? I'm not sure.
Well, what I'll do, I'll search for it and post it if I can find it at the bottom of the screen. But his company, ladies and gentlemen, is Oracle Logistics. So when you see that on the side of a truck or something, you know that's my bro.
That's
Big
it,
country.
Baby. That's it.
Yes,
Glory.
sir. Yes, sir. But man, I thoroughly enjoyed it, bro. And we're gonna have to do this again. And I got to come out there. You know, it's hey, look, man, just set me a cot or something to the side. I'll stay tonight, man.
There's plenty of room in there, dog. Come on now. You got plenty. You got 9,600 square foot of living space to camp out at. You can sleep in the theater room, wherever you want to sleep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, man, I'm excited.
It got 4 bedrooms, 5.5 bathrooms. So you can do whatever you need.
Oh, man. Yes, sir. Well, man, bro, it's been a pleasure and an honor. And ladies and gentlemen, until next time, peace.